Do you guys want to know why it's so important to master something in life? The reason is because when you master something, you actually have to master yourself. Maybe not every single aspect of yourself, but a large portion of yourself. Particularly the things that hold you back from being successful. For example, mastering yourself, you have to master things like time, laziness, frustration, consistency, so on and so forth. These are a lot of tiny little things in life that actually hold us back from achieving things. You know, all these things done in the right way on a day-to-day basis, just tiny tweaking of how you let those things affect you. Changing that up will change your life drastically. Another thing is, if you want to go somewhere in life but you actually don't know where to start, like you may be absolutely clueless, and though you've tried to think about what is it that you need to do or what you're missing in your life, you know, that's kind of, it's hard to wade through all that mental mess without somebody actually there, you know, kind of guiding you through it. Even if we did have somebody guiding us through it, a lot of times we probably wouldn't actually take them seriously or even listen to them because we're so caught up in what we think is right. So the best thing in this case is just that thing that you've always wanted to do, wanted to get good at, or maybe you haven't even started it. Just dive into it and tell yourself that you're going to do a little bit of it every day, and, you know, master it, because what you know is your value to the world. What you know is what you can market, and until you really know something very well, I mean, you don't have to know something very well, you know, you can work at McDonald's or Burger King and it's pretty easy to flip burgers and stuff, but actually mastering something in your field, it's all the masters that make all the money. So just start doing that one thing every day, and slowly you'll encounter things that actually hold you back from doing that one thing that you've always wanted to do. And those things right there are the things that are holding you back in life when you're actually supposed to be doing the thing that you are trying to master, but things come in your way, or maybe you get too lazy, or maybe say you play too many video games today, so now it's really late and you're like, oh man, I want to do this, but I'm too tired or whatever. So you'll slowly start to see, and don't make a big deal out of it. Just think of it as a way to learn yourself and to understand yourself, because a lot of us don't actually focus on that in life. Growing up, we focus on education, and which is important, but the route that we are taught to succeed is always externally, and it's never through necessarily like looking into ourselves. And again, best way to do that is try to master something. There's two different types of people that I can think of off the top of my head, for example, that have mastered something. So for example, you know, somebody that's maybe 20, 25, somebody real young that is a master at something. Though they had to deal with a lot of the things that, you know, anybody else would have to deal with in mastering something, a lot of times they were perhaps pushed by their parents to master something, or, you know, their parents were overachievers and this and that, so they really pushed their children to master something. And I think that perhaps, and this is just from thinking about it, you know, something I've kind of come up with, I think perhaps that's not as valuable as mastering something from your own choice and your own desire as an adult. The reason I say that, well, let's put it this way. It is still valuable, regardless of, you know, if you were a child and you're forced to learn, it's still valuable, because now you have something of value to offer to the world. However, just the distinction is, I think, with you actually having the responsibility and going through the accountability and developing the things that you need to actually achieve something. Something that I've noticed in my life is I start things, you know, I'll do one thing for a little bit, but I'm not getting the results that I need, so I'll stop, and then I'll move on to something else and something else. I've kind of come to the belief that if you do anything long enough, consistently enough, you'll be successful at it. But it's a really hard task to actually continue to do something when you're not successful. Maybe, well, when you don't see the success every day or building something every day, it's slow. And sometimes we don't have that patience to actually, which is one of the things when you're mastering something, you'll have to learn to be patient. And maybe that particular thing you're trying to master won't be the end all, but it'll lead you to something else. Actually, I prefer doing this instead, which is maybe kind of related or not related at all. But you just taking that journey has kind of, everything you learn opens up your mind a little bit. So you starting that journey will introduce you to new things that you didn't really know existed, or will just get your blood pumping in the vein of thinking of creating new things. And in that leads you in this direction, that direction opens up new things to you that you can actually choose from. So that's a benefit there. Another thing is when you're actually going through this journey, and you encounter roadblocks or the times when it's really hard for you and you're unmotivated and stuff, think about it, okay, because sometimes your excuses may be legitimate. Maybe you had a really long, stressful day at work and you just need to unwind, and maybe you try to put a little bit of effort into that one thing, but you're just literally brain dead and it's not being productive at all. And other times, the reasons may not be valid reasons, but as you actually, again, take the journey, analyze each of these things, because this is really a journey about self. It's a journey about mastering yourself, because to master anything, you have to master yourself. And it's important because you're the most important thing, nothing else. Another thing to keep your eye out for is attitudes, because maybe you are a good worker, maybe you have great work ethic, However, maybe when it comes to your attitudes, maybe you're a negative thinker, maybe you don't really have faith in yourself, lack confidence. So when you get near the end of something or a project, you may not share it with the world or share it with people that you need to share it with because you lack the confidence, which sometimes can be, perfection mindset as well. You want everything to be perfect. However, if you were to say send your project off to somebody else and you were to get negative feedback from it, that's a good thing, because through that you are collecting data of how you can do better, and you can grow from that. So don't let fear stop you either. Anyways, if you did appreciate this video, help me out, hit the like button, subscribe button, share it with somebody that you feel would benefit from this video, and best of luck to you all, and see you next time.